Hello everyone! I am back to work! Whenever I want to shoot a video, suddenly the sun comes out, everything is overexposed, so I'm very sorry, but this doesn't look like it's going to last, will it? Better. Today, what I want to talk about is one tip. Keeping it simple. One tip. What you can do when you feel overwhelmed and you have to make so many decisions about your life, and they're really important and law. So for me this week I'm redesigning my website. I have to decide what I want to put into my portfolio. Is there going to be a shop? What will I offer? Do I want to start a Patreon? Because there's something within me that really wants to give and send out care packages where you have a little postcard and some handmade medicine that I prepared, like tinctures, creams, maybe even little things like wall hangings or dream catchers, something small for your self-love that you can get every month. And I want to keep it affordable. Oh, you see, my mind is going crazy with that. And maybe you have decisions that are even more important, like, you know, where you want to live, what do you want to work, what you're going to study, who you're going to be with. All of these human decisions that we constantly have to make. And it can be very overwhelming. I know that I am on the more overwhelming side, or on the overwhelmed side. I always make the same mistake, which is trying to figure out the solution up here. So I sit down and I make my internal checklists of this is good, this is bad, and if the good outweighs the bad, I say yes, and if bad outweighs the good, I say no. And sometimes the whole thing isn't as clear. I then start to have smoke coming out of my ears. I get really overwhelmed and I ask other people for help and their opinions. And then I start to make a decision based on their opinions, as if others could really decide on what's best for me. Really tough. The one thing that I have learned and that I always forget, and so I try to remember within this video too, is one quote from Papaji. Really simple. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Now what does he mean with don't move? That you sit down and do nothing? Sometimes this is the best decision, to just sit down and do nothing. But thinking is also doing. Having a thought process, a process is something that is done. Coming back to the present moment and reminding myself I have no control, and reminding myself that I forget about the higher things. I forget that there is God or the universe or Allah or Buddha or life force, whatever you call it. We tend to forget the obvious. Life takes care of life. There's nothing to figure out. The whole societal pressure thing that you have to decide and you have to be the fastest. When I finished school and I had to start studying, I remember being so overwhelmed with having to choose. At the time I was interested in biology a lot because I love animals and flowers and nature. And then there was graphic design, and then there was media and news because I love making videos, and at the time I wanted to work for a radio station. And that's actually what I chose. Out of all things, I started with media. And then I switched to graphic design. Thank God. But you see, life isn't one clear path with one step in this direction and then you stay there. Nothing is ever as clear. Nothing is written in stone in this life. Everything is flowing, everything is constantly changing. Making yourself crazy about decisions is losing touch with your inner guidance. And the more you're up here and trying to figure out what you want to do, the less you're likely to hear your little voice of intuition. You have a very clear guidance inside. But first of all, you have to stop running, because while you're running a marathon in your brain or in real life and trying to figure out and trying to do, rush, that will never bring about the peace and the happiness that you want, because you bring that energy of stress into the situation, and that sort of contaminates everything. If you want peace, if you want clarity, sit down, become peaceful and clear. And one of the clearest things is just seeing that you're running. And I am very prone to running. Oh my god, I fall into the running trap oh so very often. And then I have to remind myself, don't move. Let life take care of life. It sounds so simple. And you really have to trust life. That is your one decision that you have. That is the real decision that you have to make. That is the one decision. Do I say yes to trusting life and that there is a higher vision and that there is something working behind the scenes where you have no control over, but you're still trusting it? Or do you think you have to do it all on your own, which is very stressful? Very, very stressful. Enough with the talk. I want to show you a bit about my art. Not done yet with the sketch.
So, what we have here is, it started out as a random sketch and then somehow the wolf came in, and after I chose the colors, it somehow became Fluttershy. Then I added her little butterflies here.
And if you want to do me a favor, please tell me if you would be interested in me opening up a Patreon with like a little monthly subscription where you can have, I don't know, certain goodies. I'm still thinking about it. Maybe postcard, maybe some original art thrown in, maybe a one-on-one session, some live stream. Leave me a comment in the comments below if you want to. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye.